I'd like to move on to a piece, actually, that comes from my book, The Fisher Queen, and it is part actually of the afterword. It is a historical memoir, the small story being my little story of my experiences as one of the handful of young girls working as deckhands in the commercial salmon fishing fleet off the north coast of BC. The bigger story, of course, is the grand stage where all the players were working out their parts in the grand stage that still is playing today. This is the afterword. I am where I have been so many times before. Alone on a windswept beach, I always know what to do here. I always know who I am here. This is no Technicolor Tahitian dream beach. It is Canada's wild western coast, my home, my lifeblood. I am soaked to the marrow with it, and I can't live without it. Every cell of me sighs with relief. The land and sea have gifted me a perfect moonshell. I have found others, but they're broken. I almost discard them, but glance again and realize that if they were not broken, I could not see the symmetry and beauty of the design, the perfect and elegant spiraling to the center. I'm in a paradise of cedar and sand and wind and waves and fresh rushing water, hunkered down in a little trailer so much like a boat. Beside a stream, under the cedar trees in Powell River, a sturdy little town on BC's Sunshine Coast. The sun flashes its most engaging smile. The stream flings itself to the sea. The gods have conspired to seduce a book out of me. On the ferry from Vancouver, I had stood transfixed in front of the gift store book rack. My colleague who is here with me to mentor and teach the emerging Powell River writers said, "This is where your book will be." And those who know Anthony Dalton knows that's a perfect imitation. I wanted to see it there so bad it tugged at my guts. During a drizzly Vancouver winter, I fled to Arizona to write a historical novel about the northern BC coast and the people who made their living on that sea. That didn't happen. I sat there for 2 days with 6 months of research strewn about me, completely blocked. In desperation, I started writing about my own experiences in that world in the mid-1980s, thinking they would stream me into that world. The novel never happened, but the stories insisted on themselves and became portholes into the world I lived in as a young woman, deckhanding in the commercial salmon trolling fleet. The stories shouted and laughed and wept their way out of me as I sat baking in the desert. They dragged me mercilessly through those months at sea, pulled me down into whirlpools of memory, and then threw me back on shore, blinking and shivering, to find myself deep in the southwest desert instead of the northwest waters. I came home with 30,000 words of life stories that sang like sirens on the rocks.